this video, we're doing my top 5 picks of books that you can buy right now for under $200 in a CGC 9.8. This started as a top 10 video, and I thought, why don't we just chop that in half? I'll take my top 5 picks of those top 10 and make it just a better video with better picks, starting with this bad boy right here, Venom number 9. This is the 1 in 10 animation variant for the first full appearance of Dylan Brock, the son of Eddie Brock, who later becomes Venom. And I was shocked to see that this book has dipped below $200. It has double significance in my opinion because it's an awesome animation variant cover featuring Spider-Man Noir, which I have a feeling this book might see an uptick in interest because of the trailer. I believe we just got a trailer today for the Spider-Man Noir series, which looks absolutely amazing, featuring Nicolas Cage. I'm so excited for that. I will absolutely watch that. And while this isn't like a major Spider-Man Noir key, it is just an awesome cover, and we all know that covers sell comics. So if we come over here to GP analysis, we can see that the 9.8 animation variants, the last sale was $135. This book saw a peak of over $1,000 during the boom, but $135 was kind of an outlier low. But here, the sale before that was $200, and lots of sales under the $200 mark. Some, right around that $150. I think anything under $200 for this book is a great pickup for the Spider-Man Noir interest that's inevitably coming, and for future Dylan Brock appearances on the screen. Next on the list, we have Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen number 3. This is the first full appearance of Punchline, and another book that I was really surprised to see has come down as far as it has. Last sale being $61 for a CGC 9.8. There's some other variants for this. The Federici variant, last sale was $36 for a 9.8. It definitely leaves something to be desired. It's not my favorite variant. There's a second print here with a more red background, a third print with kind of a purple monochrome. They're calling it a gray background here on Key Collector, and this is the variant by Federici, which I'm not a fan of. My pick for this, especially around the 60, 80, anything under $100 for this, I think is a good pickup, especially with the fanfare around the character of Punchline and the potential for her to show up in future projects. I just listed this X-Men 1. I'm not sure if it's still available by the time you're watching this. This is sorted by new to old, and if you look at this, I actually just sold the Federici variant for $60 with 10% off. Awesome stuff on the way. I've got 100 books queued up to be posted. Make sure you sign up to the newsletter here to get notification of new drops every single day. Lately we've been doing adding new inventory. This is the clearance section, which we're doing 25% off. All you have to do is add it to your cart. Look at these custom sketches for 25% off. This Neil Adams sketch with this zombified awesome Batman cover is crazy. This one here with Joe Rubinstein, original art signed by Stan Lee. Some awesome stuff in the clearance section, and all you have to do is add it to the cart, and it will automatically apply the correct discount. Also, we're going to have a Whatnot show tomorrow. If you're watching this the day it comes out, $15 towards your first purchase. If you're new to Whatnot, there's a link for that down below. And make sure to follow me over on Instagram as well. Sometimes I post grails over there first before I put them on the website, and I hope to hang out with you this Friday night over on Whatnot. Next on the list, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This is the first appearance of Cindy Moon as Silk. And in my opinion, this book has no business being a $100 book. And if we come over to GP Analysis and look at the CGC 9.8, the last sale was $103. I think that that's just too low for this book. I think today's market, I think $150 would be a more fair price, but this is not a rare book. There are tons of copies of this out there. Here's the CGC census that shows 7,625 9.8s on the census, only 13 9.9s, which is a crazy low discrepancy there. That 9.9 would actually be interesting to see what it fetched in today's market. 10,000 total copies on the CGC census, and you might be thinking, 10,000 total copies on the census, and yeah, there's probably 10 or 20,000 more raw copies out there that eventually a lot of them will come to the census. And even considering that, I still think $100 is too low for this book. And just to give a little context here, another very popular book that has really strong numbers considering the print run and the number of them that are on the census, is Spawn #1, the first appearance of Spawn, a 9.8, most recent sale 120, selling consistently in that 120 to 130 range. And if we look at the CGC census for Spawn #1, there's 17,663 copies currently on the CGC census. I'll put up on the screen the total print count. I think it's in the millions, which means that this is only a very small percentage that actually made it to the CGC census that were printed. 36,000 total copies on the census. And with 36,000 copies on the census, a 9.8 still commanding $120, which is more than Silk. It's kind of hard to compare the two, but what I wanted to do was just look at the numbers and say, yes, a book with massive numbers on the census can still command a very high premium. So I think that the Silk book is every bit of a $150 book. I think it could get back up around the $200 mark if she's on the screen and she's received well by fans and collectors. Next on the list, we have Strange Academy #1. Now, this is a book that has a ton of first appearances, all of these characters right here on the cover, and it's a book that I think has actually a fair price right now. It's about $150 currently in the market, and I think that's about where it should be. I just think that this book will eventually have more interest than it does now if they do something with the characters. And if we come over here to AI, and we got to take this with a grain of salt, I asked Google if there's going to be a Strange Academy series, and it says, yes, Marvel Studios has reported to be developing a Strange Academy series for Disney+. So we have heard from Marvel Studios that they're developing it, and then we've also heard, while the status of the show is currently uncertain, it was initially planned to be a Disney Plus series featuring a cast of sorcerers training under the guidance of Wong. The series was expected to explore the world of sorcerers in the MCU, and some reports suggest it could lead into Secret Wars, but it also says that there may have been reports that Marvel paused the development of the series, along with other projects like Nova and Terror Inc., which could mean they never see the light of day. So, it was reported in development, and it was, there's rumors that it's been canceled and all that. So we really don't know until it actually comes to fruition. But I think, how could they not do this? There's so many opportunities for tie-ins and sequels and, cameos of major MCU characters in this series. I see so much potential here for this that I think if they do this show, I think that you'd be glad you bought it now for around $150. The 90-day average, $144, a strong sale recently of $175. Don't pay $175 for this book in today's market. There's tons and tons of opportunities to get it for under $150 and closer to that $100 mark. And if you're at all a fan of the series or these characters, I think you'd be glad you bought it now rather than when any kind of confirmation comes for the show. Next on the list is a book that I've just always thought was surprisingly cheap, and that's X-Men Annual #14. This is the first appearance of Gambit. We're going to take like a little 20-second detour to talk about cameo versus full. Gambit appears in this book in 15 panels, and he has at least 10 instances of dialogue in the issue. So, the debate is whether that's the first appearance or this, X-Men 266, is the first appearance. And my stance on it is it doesn't really matter what the first appearance or the second appearance. The market dictates what the price of the book is going to be. I think this is a situation where the second appearance has a better cover, and so we've all kind of just over time agreed that this is the first appearance of Gambit. But again, it doesn't matter if it's the first or second or the first cover or whatever. You just have to pick which one of these books do you like. They're both Gambit keys, and the market dictates what the price of it is. And this book, 266, is like $550 and a 9.8, and recent sales here of the X-Men Annual 14 is around $150. Last sale $157, 90-day average $154. So I just think that around $150 for this book is you know, a really good price for such an important character. And you can always bump it up to the newsstand edition with new lows, new recent lows around $395, the most recent sale for a 9.8 newsstand. If you can afford it and you can find a newsstand for around $400, I think that's a great deal. There's even a high sale last year of $760. So, and look at this, deals $175 for a 9.8 newsstand, $170 for a 9.8 newsstand. So set those alerts on auction houses and try to snag one on the cheap. If we come over here and look at the census, the difference between X-Men Annual 14 and 266, I don't think this is necessarily indicative of a major difference in print run. I think it's just a difference in popularity. And this tells you all you need to know about which book do collectors prefer. The X-Men Annual 14 has over 2,000 9.8s on the CGC census, with a total of 7,700 copies, compared to X-Men 266, which has 4,800 9.8s and a total of 27,000 copies on the census. Also, this book is worth decent money even in lower grades, so there's a lot more lower grades here. When you come over to the X-Men Annual, it's mostly in those 9.0 and above. That's all I have for this video. Just some fun picks for awesome comics. Do you even like comics, bro? Don't forget to get in on those giveaways this month. 2 free slabs if you subscribe, comment, and like this video, and 2 free slabs are up for grabs over at brycecomics.com if you subscribe to the newsletter. Hundreds of awesome new books coming over there, and that's where you get first notification through that newsletter. Let's hang out over on Whatnot Friday nights starting at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're having a ton of fun over there, and I hope to see you over there. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.